I designed this fly right here for fall and early winter bluegills, because once it starts to get later in the season, you're not going to really be able to get them on foam flies and stuff like that. They're going to be out deeper, and this fly, I actually tied it on a jig hook, and you would work this fly really slowly towards the bottom of the water, and it's almost like a mix between some type of bug and a minnow. So first you're going to start off with, this is, I think it's a size 6, a 4 or 6 size jig hook. You can tie this smaller or bigger, and you're going to start your thread off, start wrapping your thread base. When I'm using red thread, this is Ultra Thread 140 denier, and I actually got this jig hook. I took a regular jig that got beat up and stuff, and I took tin snips and basically cut away the lead and stuff, and then got to the hook and then picked away the rest of the lead. And so you're going to go all the way to the back. And then the tail for this, you can use marabou, and for this right here I'm going to use the rotary feature on my vise. But what I'm going to use is, it's actually the center from nylon rope that I actually used for my last video for gar lure, and the center is polypropylene yarn basically. So I'm going to take that, and you could probably use a whole bunch of synthetics. I know Fly Tires Dungeon, the website, has a synthetic out there that's similar to this, but this is just what I'm using. And you can actually buy polypropylene yarn in bulk in different colors and whatever you want to do. And now that I got that tied in, I'm going to flip it back over with the hook point up. And the polypropylene yarn doesn't cut very well unless you have really sharp scissors, which I need to get mine sharpened. So I'm going to wrap the thread base over it a couple of times to get it laid down. That's not bad right there. Then I'm going to use my Spec Tin chenille. It's got pearl flash in there. Really good material. And I'm going to cut off maybe 4 inches. And I always cut off more than I need, because you never really know. And also, I like to have a good tag-in to work with. I'm going to peel off a little bit right there. Tie that in. And cut the tag ends of the chenille. Wrap all the way forward. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some red and chrome dumbbell eyes. You can use bead chain, and I'm going to figure 8 them on front. Now you don't have to leave as much room as you would if you're tying a regular fly, because I'll show you how I finished mine off in a little bit when I'm using a jig hook. And just cinch that down. Then I'm going to wrap around so those won't move too much while I'm fishing this. Because when I'm fishing this, I'm going to probably most likely fish this towards the bottom. That's why I'm using a jig hook, because I want to fish towards the bottom of the water column when it's getting colder, and I'm going to fish this a lot farther out and deeper and slower than I normally would. So I'm going to wrap the thread behind. I'm going to take my chenille, go forward. Take a couple wraps over that, and I'm going to snip it. Next, what I'm going to do is, you can either tie the peacock curl or the rubber legs on first, doesn't matter. I'm going to tie the peacock curl on first. Which, another thing with the peacock curl, I bought this actually at Michael's, and when I was over there, I noticed they have a lot of feathers. Now, you gotta read the thing on the back of them, because I'm not sure what type of feather it was. It was a New Guinea hen or something like that was dyed over there, and it turns out, if you use those for fly tying, sometimes the dye they use might leak out, so you gotta be careful about that, but the peacock is all natural, so you don't have to worry about that. I'm gonna use five or six strands of peacock curl, and I want that to be the length where the tail ends. I think I'm actually going to add 2 more curls. And the nice thing about peacock is it has a little bit of flash in it already, so you're not going to have to put any flash in the wing or anything like that. And then the chenille has the flash in it. And another bonus is that the eyes are chrome, so that reflects it. So when you're deep, and sunlight will get to it, and there'll be some flash, and that'll attract the fish too. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take 2 rubber legs. These are variegated, black and white. I'm going to double them. And then the center, and put them there. And you can kind of like, if you can get it right, you can figure 8 these on. You see a lot of that when people are tying professionally, and they have legs going like this. They'll figure 8 it on hook. It looks better, and it gives it better movement than just straight tying it in one direction. And then you can like go like this a couple of times, and then go in the other direction a couple of times. It works really good, especially when you're working with these rubber legs. You go forward, wrap over the stubs of the rubber legs right there. And then trim these all to the same length. And that's your finished deep water fall fly. So, and then you're gonna go forward in front of the eyes, and you're gonna actually wrap around here is where you're gonna have your head. And you get a nice little head in there. I'm gonna have hitch it, because I mean, I have seen people whip finish the front like that, but that's gonna be kind of hard to do, so I'm just gonna have hitch it. Work just as good. You put your head cement in there, and you're all done. And that's your fly. Thanks.